What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. I am sitting on a couch, my comfortable couch in my living room because I wanted a change of scenery. I hope you guys are sitting down or going to. I always listen to podcasts when I am going to on the subway or on the bus because it's just something I like to do. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Today, I am talking about Netflix and guys, I got a new microphone. Hopefully, it sounds okay. I don't know if it's gonna sound okay, but I'm hoping this sounds okay. I got a new microphone. It is pink. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see it, guys. It's so cute. This past week was Thanksgiving, and so I was gone back home. I live about an hour away from my family, so I was back home for a few days, and we had Thanksgiving, and one of my friends got married, and that was very sweet. Sorry, I just paused. I thought somebody was coming in my apartment, maybe my roommate. Anyway, all right, guys. No, we're good. So, Netflix. Today, I'm going to be talking about on Instagram. I get a lot of comments that actually a lot of just direct messages asking me how to become an actor, how to get into acting, how to audition for Netflix, and all of that kind of stuff. And I would like to talk with you guys a little bit about it. So let's start from the beginning. Because I worked on a Netflix show. If you guys don't know, I worked on a Netflix show this 2 summers ago, last summer, called BET. It's based on Kakaguri. It's a Japanese manga. Anyway, I really liked the role I played. His name was Suki. He was like a makeup artist, influencer, and he was very fun to play. So we're gonna get into all of this, a little behind the scenes of what really happens on a Netflix set, how it all works, how everything comes together. You know, do we film the episodes in order? How did I audition for the Netflix show, etc. We are going to talk about all of this today, and I can't wait. And I hope that if you guys are an aspiring actor, that you can feel some sort of inspiration from my story. Even though I haven't worked very much. I mean, honestly, all I've worked on is this Netflix show, Bet, and we're getting a second season, so I'll be working on that again next year. I believe next summer we're gonna start filming. But yeah, and I've just done a few commercials and a few other TV shows that I'll talk to you guys about that are some funny stories from there. Anyway, I always wanted to be an actor since I was a kid. I always wanted to be an actor. I remember going to see my Aunt Kathy. She would always buy me and my siblings. I'm a triplet, so I have a brother and a sister the same age as me. So anyway, I grew up really close with my siblings. I'm still close with them. And we would go once a year. My Aunt Kathy would buy us tickets to go see a musical. And so I would always go see a musical every year for Christmas. We go see something in Toronto. I lived about an hour from Toronto. As a kid, I lived about an hour from the city. So it was pretty quick just to go and see. Toronto has great musicals, great film and TV as well, more than Los Angeles, which maybe I'll talk about a little bit. So anyway, I grew up, seeing musicals and seeing theater, and I really, really, really always enjoyed it and always wanted to be on stage. So I did. I started doing community theater when I was in grade 8. So I was 13 years old. I did the show Les Mis, if you guys know Les Miserables. And then I played a dead body. I had no lines. Actually, I think I did have one line, and it was like, I forget what, it was like, I'm starving, or something. It's a sung-through musical, so, yeah, it was something like, I'm hungry, but it was fun. It was a great experience. I remember one of my friends was in it, and he was playing one of the leads, Gavroche, in Les Mis, and this was just like community theater show, but he had to lay on top of me for like 30 minutes in the show, and my ribs were collapsing in, and anyway, but that's showbiz, and the show had to keep going. I had to play that dead boy, and look where it got me. Hey, look, Mom, I made it. Not really. So I did Les Mis, and then I did another show, Oliver Twist. I love that show. I got to play Oliver, guys, the lead role. I know. And that was really fun. But yeah, so I did that, and then I went to high school with my siblings, my brother and sister. That was an arts-based high school. So yeah, I grew up doing, singing in choirs, and all of that, singing my usual German. We all grew up singing German, right? So in learning piano, I was so bad at piano, but I loved my piano teachers, and I would just kind of gossip. I just wanted to chat with them. I've always liked adults, so they have a cool outlook on life. So even when I was a kid, I was like, I just want to chat with you. Let's not play piano. I don't want to play the scales today. I want to talk about life, and if you really like your husband, and all that kind of drama. So I grew up playing piano, but I'm just so bad at it now. So I had an agent when I was, this is how agents work, guys. Sometimes agents, you can they come see a show that you're in. This is what happened with me. My first ever agent, he is Gary. His name was Gary, and he is from AAB Talent. If you guys are in Toronto, that's AAB Talent, so you guys can check them out. I believe they're pretty good, and he's very sweet. I just ran into him a few months ago. I was doing this discussion with this community theater group, just talking about my life and growing up doing theater, and then doing a musical theater degree, which I did. I did a musical theater degree. So 4 years, there's a Bachelor of Arts in musical theater. And I finished that 2 years ago. Anyway, so my first agent was Gary from AAB Talent, and he was great. I got some auditions from him. I didn't book anything. I was a very not a strong actor when I was a kid. Just completely bad. And I look back at the videos, and I really thought I was good. I remember auditioning for Netflix, a series of unfortunate events. It was the one with Jim Carrey, and anyway, I believe it was the movie, or it might have been a TV show. Horrible. Absolutely. I look back at this audition, and maybe I'll post it on Instagram. I kept trying to find it, and I can't find it. Anyway, I'll scroll through my camera roll and try to find it. But it was horrible. I had a British accent. It was disgusting. But it was fun, and I was just so confident. I was like, whenever I was doing an audition, I just was like, why am I not getting the role? Now I know I sucked, and that's the reason why I wasn't getting the role. But Gary was my first agent, and I believe in 2 years or so later, I wasn't really doing many auditions, and I got another agent who, yeah, was not the best. If you're looking for an agent, guys, and they keep telling you have to get headshots from this person, you have to get headshots from this person. If you don't know what headshots are, they're basically what your profile photo is for when agents submit you to auditions. They have to send a picture, right? So it's a photo of your face that basically you want it to reflect who you are. So my agent, that I won't say her name, but she was actually very sweet, but there's something a little bit icky about when these agencies are asking you to go to this person and spending $800 on a headshot, your first headshot, and they say you have to go with this person. Because obviously it just means that they're getting a cut of the money. So it's a bit of a scammy thing. I wouldn't say an actual scam, because you're still getting good headshots, but I bet the agent is getting half of that $800. So that, of course, they want you to go with that headshot photographer because they're getting a cut. So in the acting industry, there's always this kind of icky stuff that's going on that you have to be careful of. So it's good to have people that you really trust. Anyway, so I was with her for about 3 years, I believe. And then I went to my agent, who I love, Ignite Artists. I didn't book anything with the girl. Anyway, I didn't book anything with her. But then with Ignite Artists, they're a great agency. I booked a few things with them. A few things meaning, I believe, two commercials. One was for Toyota, the car company. I played an ice cream boy, a guy who was serving ice cream. It was really fun. So that was one of the highlights. That was my first big commercial I ever did. And I did a Mississauga Transit commercial. Mississauga, if you guys don't know, it's a town in Canada, and I did a commercial 30 minutes away from me. I did a commercial for their bus system, That's so random, but I did, and this was a few years ago, and I was doing a show, and we weren't allowed to miss any of the rehearsals, and so I like really wanted to do this commercial. It was just like a bus commercial, but I think it was like a pretty good paycheck because I believe it was like $1,000 or something. So of course I wanted to do the commercial, but I had a rehearsal that day, so I just told them I have like extreme diarrhea, like I can't get off the toilet, like, and I anyway they let me. They were fine with that, so I just lied to the director, and did the commercial. And no, I have no regrets. I have no regrets. That was fun. Actually, somebody from that commercial messaged me, DM'd me on Instagram recently. I'm gonna respond to him. He was very sweet. I remember really, really liking him. Okay, so basically, went to that agency, and then I met my recent agent on, and I didn't book Bet. I booked Bet, guys, the Netflix show I was on and am still on. I booked that just from sending a video myself. So, in the acting industry, there's this thing called open calls, which is what Bet did. All across Canada, an open call, it means that you don't have to have an agent to submit. You can just send in a video, a self tape is what we call it, a video of yourself doing the scene or two scenes or whatever they say you have to do, and send it in. You just email it to the casting director without an agent. So that's what I did. So I didn't really need an agent to do Netflix, but most of the times you do. Most of the times to audition for Netflix, you got to have an agent because it's usually, just like a higher quality union job. Um, there's non-union jobs and there's union jobs. Union jobs are more expensive and they usually have a bigger budget. So those are going to be the big movies that you see in the theaters are usually union. So that was like Netflix. Sometimes there's open calls, so keep looking, guys. If you're looking to audition for Netflix, just search up Netflix open calls, and it's not a scam if you don't have to pay anything. If you have to pay something to audition, then yeah, unfortunately, it's a scam. Anyway, so I auditioned for Netflix, and that was a great opportunity. Just one audition, two scenes. We didn't know the show was Kakuguri based on the anime, the manga. It just said like a weird, like a just kind of like a weird random like storyline that was kind of based on what the show was going to be about. So we didn't really know it was based on a manga. The character names were all different, but I auditioned for the role. My character's name was Sammy, so not Suki, and it just said girls or guys, any gender can audition for this. It's an influencer. All my friends, we all auditioned for this role. Yeah, it just said a makeup influencer who's like a bit dark and twisted. So I loved it. I auditioned for it, and I believe I was with an acting teacher. Sometimes whenever I film an audition, I don't use an acting teacher, but now I always do because it's always good. As an actor, it's just always good to have another person's opinion, even though it might be a bit expensive, $100 to go see an acting teacher for an audition. They really give you incredible advice. And it's always good to have somebody else who like can look at the scene and see like, oh, actually do it this way. It's always good to have a different perspective. But if of course if you don't have the money to do that, you just gotta. And of course I most of the time I just would film it myself and not see an acting teacher while you're sending the audition. Anyway, for Bet, I saw an acting teacher and we filmed the scene together, and we worked on the scene together, and still my acting teacher that I go to this day. I'm seeing her on Thursday. I love her so much. So yeah, so we filmed that. Then I didn't hear anything about a month and a half, and then end of February I got a call back. End of February 2024, I got a call back for the role, and yeah, I met live with the casting directors and a few producers and the creator of the show, Simon Barry, and he's so nice. My acting teacher knew him from before and just had the highest praise talking about him. He's a really nice guy, Simon. He is the creator of the show, Bet, and he was the director for most of the episodes. And he just created a really positive environment that I felt comfortable improving, the role of Suki. If you've seen the show, he's a very comedic, funny guy, and I was able to improvise and add some lines here and there. Because some directors are super strict. Like, I only want to do this. I only want this scene this way. But Simon, he created an environment where it was like a playground. Like, it was like every day we go to the set, and it was just fun. And he was like a good balance of like fun, but not like too laid back. Like, he was like on top of everything, making sure we get stuff done. So yeah, it was a great experience. So anyway, and I didn't hear back for after I did the Zoom call audition, the second Zoom audition. I didn't hear back for a long time, a month, and then I finally did. And I was ecstatic. I was so excited. I have a video that I'll just play over top of this. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. It's just a video that I sent to my parents. Like, I recorded myself, like, being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to be on Netflix." Actually, we didn't know it was Netflix at this time, but we were like assuming it was Netflix based on something. I forget why we assumed that, but anyway, it ended up being on Netflix. So yeah. Oh, also, I'm looking at this card right now. This is from Netflix too. This is so sweet seeing this on YouTube. It's just like a card from some of the Netflix people. Ryan, Bet launches today. We're so incredibly proud of what you created. We can't wait for the fans to get a hold of it. Huge congratulations on bringing this story to life. From Ted Sarandos. I really enjoyed the process of Bet. So I booked the role, and my parents we were all happy. And I've been auditioning since I was like literally 10 years old and could not act for the life of me. So I was just so grateful for the opportunity, and I was feeling very discouraged. Right the day my agent called me and said I booked the role for Bet, I was looking right when I was got that call. I was looking on my phone, or maybe my laptop. Anyway, I was feeling discouraged, so I was looking at this article of actors who made it later in life, who like got their big break later in life. And it was like Melissa McCarthy, and it was like all these people. Anyway, and actually I was looking at, it was Melissa McCarthy and Gilmore Girls, and I was just feeling so discouraged, and so sometimes I would look that up. But it was just such a crazy coincidence from the universe. I was like, wow, I hope this is a sign that the show is going to do well, or it's just like inspiration for me, because I was just feeling really discouraged, and I was like, I've been working at this career for so long, and taking acting lessons every week, and like, why am I not booking a single job? And I was just looking at those, the Melissa McCarthy got her role. Her name was actually Suki in Gilmore Girls, and then my name was Suki, so I was like, maybe that's a cool coincidence. But and yeah, so all these people who got their start late in life, all these actors, and then I got the call right when I was looking at that article. So I thought that was such a cool sign from the universe. And speaking of signs, I remember the first day that Miku and Io, she was the main girl on Bet, Io was the main guy on Bet, Ryan. We were met for the first time. We were at this restaurant in Toronto, and we went to like Pilates or something, and I hated it, but it was so hard. It was like hot Pilates. I was sweating. Anyway, after that, we went to this restaurant, and a bird like pooed right on Miku's nose, and we're like, what does it mean, what does it mean, what does it mean? And of course it was gross, but we looked it up, and it means good luck and good things are about to come, or something like that. So that was such a cool, just the moment I was like, oh universe, it's gross that a bird pooped on Miku, but maybe it means that something good is coming in the show, or the show's gonna do well, or Miku's gonna do well. And she did, she crushed it. So let's talk about behind the scenes, Netflix. How does it work? How does it work to be on a Netflix show? What is it like? You wake up, you go to set. What is that process like? A little in-depth behind the scenes. So let's talk about it. I would wake up at about 5 or so. Sometimes it depends on the show. Sometimes you have a driver. Sometimes you don't have a driver. A driver meaning somebody who drives you from your house to set. This show, we did not have a driver. It probably depends on the budget, and we didn't have the biggest budget for the show. Like some budgets, like Outer Banks, for example, they would have a way bigger budget. Stranger Things, all the big shows. But so I would instead of getting a driver, I would just order my Uber the night before. Wake up at 5, be by to the set by about 6 or so. It depended. You get your schedule the night before in an email. You get the schedule, the daily it's called, which is like just like the daily schedule when you need to be called, and every actor is called at a different time depending on how long your makeup takes. For example, as Suki, I would be called, 2 hours before the boys, like the guy, like Io playing Ryan, or Hunter playing Michael, or Dorian playing Chad. Like they would be called a bit later because they didn't have to put all this makeup on, etc. So I would get to set. The first thing I would do is order a cappuccino from the truck, the craft service truck. You could order it from your phone and then just pick it up. It tells you when your food's ready. So I'd get a cappuccino, and then I would probably get like a bagel. They had these really good breakfast boxes with like scrambled eggs and bacon, toast. They had like what else did they have? Sausages. Yeah, they had a pretty good breakfast menu. Anyway, so I would get my breakfast, my cappuccino. I would eat. I'd get there a bit early so I had time to eat. Then somebody would come, one of the assistants would come to your trailer and knock on your trailer door and say they're ready for you in hair and makeup. And I had a trailer. It was so cool, guys. I felt like a celebrity in my trailer. There was a shower, there was a washroom, there was this cool mirror. It was so cool. I thought it was super cool until I went to Miku's trailer, and she had a trailer twice the size, and with marble counters and a shower that was twice the size. She had a butler, she had a pony. I'm kidding, but basically she should have had a pony. No, her trailer was really nice. It had LED lights. I was like, wait, what? Miku, I thought my trailer was nice. Girl, you have LED lights? In her, like, it was crazy. I was like, girl, I'm going in your trailer. I didn't. I did. I went in her trailer, but yeah, anyway. We do hair and makeup. I put my nails on, my fake nails. I had these long fake nails on every day, but I was grateful that every night after we finished filming, I could take them off because they were not permanent nails. They were just like fake nails. So I would take them off every night, then I could go on my phone. It was very hard for me to go on my phone when I had these nails on. Like throughout the day, I was just like, oh man, can you guys open my Diet Coke? I couldn't even go to the washroom sometimes. I had to get somebody to open my pants. Open my pants up so I could go to the washroom. And all these intimate things that brought us together. I did... We would do makeup, and then we would do rehearsal. So once everybody's in hair and makeup, you go to the sound stage. We filmed in like a small studio just outside of Toronto. And so you go to the sound stage, the set, and then you would do a little rehearsal. You go through the scene once or twice, not full out, but just seeing like the director, whoever the director was that week. There was different directors every week, every block. So a block is, in my case, in Bet's case, was two episodes is in a block. So each block has 2 episodes. So there's a different director every 2 episodes. But Simon, the creator, was more than one block. He was, I think, 4 episodes or something like that. So you rehearse for a little bit. They just want to figure out what the camera angles and stuff are going to be like. So you'd rehearse, you wouldn't do it full out. And then you go back and do some final touches, put some more makeup on, or make sure your hair is good. And then you'd film. And it was so fun. Such a great opportunity filming. I'm probably gonna do a little Q&A. Maybe on Instagram I'll ask you guys what you want to see, or in this comment section maybe I'll ask what kind of questions do you have. I'll do another one of these Netflix Q&A. So what is it like behind the scenes of a Netflix show? Because I'm wondering what you guys are interested in. All I can say it was a great experience. I look forward to doing the second season. I really cannot wait. We filmed it for 2 months, so An episode 1 week. So you'd film an episode in 5 days. Yeah, Monday to Friday. We didn't work on weekends, except for once. We worked on Saturday once when we were doing photos for the cover of whatever the show, and we did like these interviews that never got released, but they were probably so bad because we were all so nervous, and we did these interviews, these random interviews. Oh gosh, mine was so bad. I was like shaking. I was so nervous. I Something about interviews scare me, and so I couldn't, or used to. I hope I'm getting better at it now doing this podcast, but I was so nervous, and I was probably stuttering over my words, and it was really bad, and we were all trying to be funny and like and cute, and it didn't work out. I think all of us felt like it was just a fail. So anyway, they never released those interviews. It was just like asking us about our character and stuff, but maybe they will once. I hope they don't. Anyway, guys, that's a little sneak peek of Netflix, how it all works. You know, audition through an open call. You don't have to have an agent, but usually for most projects you do need to have an agent because it's a union job. And yeah, please let me know, guys, in the comments of the YouTube video on YouTube, the Sutherland Show on YouTube. Let me know in the comments, guys, what questions you have, because I'll do another one of these videos, a little bit longer, the next one. Ask me anything you guys have about questions. You know, what is it like working with the producers? Did you guys get to see the show before? I'll answer that one right now. We did not get to see the show before it came out, other than we had a screening of the first 2 episodes, which I was happy about because I was in the second episode was the episode I was in the most. So I was like, you know what, I would love to see this and see how I did. I was nervous. I was like, did I do like a really crappy job? So anyway, we got to see, there was like we had a party, release party, and so we got to see the first 2 episodes before it came out the next week. And also, I think I got a code. Yes, I'm forgetting this. I did get a code. The week before the show came out, I got a code on Netflix. I got to see Bet, the whole thing before it came out. So yes, I did. I was like lying. I was just lying, guys. I totally saw the whole thing about, I don't think it was a week before, maybe 3 days before the show came out on Netflix for everybody else. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Please comment below more questions you have for, acting. If you're an up-and-coming actor, you want to start acting, or you don't know how to begin, let me know. I'd love to give you guys some inspiration, and even though I'm not a famous actor, at least I have a little bit of experience under my belt, and hopefully I can help you a little bit. I love you guys so much. Bring light and positivity into your day. Remember that you are loved. If nobody else in the world loves you, know that I love you and that I'm rooting for you, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Look somebody in the eye and smile and say hello to them. Mwah. I love you guys so much. I will see you on Friday.